Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with my review of the Transformers Legacy Blitzwing. And this is a figure I've been excited for when it got revealed. Since at first I don't actually own a Blitzwing figure, so this is going to be my first one. But also because I do like Blitzwing as a character, especially in Transformers G1 and animated. So with that, I'm going to get straight to the packaging here. We have a closed-in box, so we can't actually see the product, what it looks like inside, aside from our images on the back. But on the front, we have some nice artwork of Blitzwing here, along with both of his alt modes. Got his name, Transformers Legacy. This is a leader class figure. Transformers proudly shown on the side here. On the top, we have the Transformers Legacy logo. Side, we have some more artwork of his alt modes. The back here is our promotional shots here, what the figure comes with, as well as a closer look at what the figure looks like. Also have a URL here that we can scan to see the stats of the character. Underneath, we have our standard barcode and warnings going on. And on this side, we have some artwork here. Looks like it's for the Decepticon characters. So yeah, pretty standard packaging around the time when they started using these closed-in boxes. But without further ado, let's take out the figure and see what we are working with. And here we have Blitzwing out of the box with all of his accessories, and interestingly enough, he actually comes out of the box in his tank mode, so we're going to change him to robot mode real quick so we can take our first look at that. And here is Blitzwing in his robot mode, and we're going to start off with the aesthetics here. We have a nice bright yellow head with a red visor, very prominent red visor as well, so very nice Blitzwing head right there. You have a very blocky chest, got some yellow going on here as well as some silver and red, and a lot of that dark purple, which looks really nice on this figure. Yeah, a lot of silver going through here. You have some tan and purple running on the arms right here, as well as more purple and tan with some nice line detailings going on there. Some nice armor detailing that comes from the tank mode, I presume. The waist, you have some kind of looks like vents here on the front of the waist skirts with a nice squiggly line going through. You got some silver legs right here that kind of thin out as they go down, and some large purple boots. Got some Decepticon logos on the side here, as well as some yellow striping that runs from the inside to the back. You have those thruster heels, so I think I'm going to end up calling them a lot. And you got some silver from the wings on the front here, but aside from that, yep, thrusters for feet. Very interesting choice for Blitzwing there, but it does look like what he had, at least on his toy art. At least then, it looked like he really didn't have toes at all. And moving on to the backpack, we have a very large backpack here. You have some treads from the tank mode, a few bit of wings from the jets. You have the tank gun right here, which can still slightly move. It doesn't tab in, which is a bit strange. And apart from that, it's a prominently tan backpack. You do have a purple Decepticon logo up here. And yeah, his aesthetic is mainly a lot of his tan and purple coloring, but he is very kind of bulky, except in the legs. His legs seem a bit skinnier for his character, but he does have a lot of bulk, which I feel is very fitting for a soldier-like character like Blitzwing to have. Definitely very cool look to him. I do like a lot of the G1 inspired looks to him. He's not completely G1 accurate, I would say, but he does get pretty close, which is the way I feel like Legacy is kind of meant to look, how it's not completely G1, but it takes a lot of that inspiration. But moving on from here, we'll take a look at the accessories that come with this figure. Taking a look at our accessories here. First up, we have Blitzwing's iconic sword, seen on multiple pieces of his toy box art, and also a lot in the cartoon. Now this one has silver for the blade, though, instead of being all purple. And you have a nice silver blade here. That's made of a flexible rubber, I guess for safety reasons. But it is still kind of pointy there. But you have a peg here and your main peg here for the handle. And it's as simple as just pegging that in. And there you go. You have his sword out. Next up, you have these two blasters. They are the same. From what I can recall from memory, they kind of look like Blitzwing's iconic blaster, but kind of different at the same time, if I'm remembering correctly. But you do get two of them, so that's pretty cool right there. Similar to the blade, you have your pegs here, and it's just as simple as plugging that in. You can also get this and plug it into other spots, such as the side of the arms. Kind of have, you have one here you can put it on. You have the legs down here, if you kind of maybe want to have him stored on his leg, maybe. Or you can store him back here on the back, maybe. So you have some nice back storage going on, so glad to see that's an option. I'm going to take his accessories off here to show off his next weapons, or his accessories. And these are these big, what I call Neo-Zeong arms. So basically my headcanon for this is that Blitzwing found the Neo-Zeong, and he found two of the arms, and he simply took them. That's what these are right here. But you have purple along some of the body, and some transparent red for most of the build, and the hands can separate from the blocky portion here. An important thing to note is that they are specific to the side of the arm that you want to put them on. So you have to slide this in and kind of make sure it lines up with this piece right here, which can be kind of difficult trying to get the arm in, I will admit. Let's put it in like that. Because the arm, the hand, the wrist rotation, the wrist that closes in, does like to try to come out, which isn't fun, but there we go, got one in. So now it's just a matter of getting the other one in. Kind of do the same thing. It's best to try to put your thumb and hold the fist down. Hear it. It must be close. Come on, you can do it. Get in there. I had it earlier. Don't know why it's being weird now. I think it's just this figure, the way the peg is designed. I just gotta find the peg, kind of line this up a bit. There we go. Should be, yep, in place. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm being a bit too forceful on this guy. There we go. Definitely experiment with these a bit more since they are kind of weird. But yep, here he is with his Neo-Zeong arms. So yeah, you have some large hand blasters for Blitzwing if you want that as an option. A very interesting accessory. I'm not sure why this was necessarily included, but I guess it's there and you might be able to use it on other figures, so definitely something worth slapping on a few characters. But yeah, I mean, basic accessories that he comes with are all very nice with your standard blasters and swords. And the Neo Zeong arms, I guess, are just kind of like a nice bonus for the figure. So yeah, accessories overall, I mean, you have what he should come with, and you have a few extras. Moving on to our articulation here, we have a nice up at the head. Can't really look down that much. Does have a bit side to side. Can do a full 360. You have a full 360 waist swivel going on. Arms can go up that high, but you can bend this. Actually, you can bend this a lot. Can kind of bend it to get that high. Might possibly be able to get more. You have to move this skirting up on the arms, which will allow the arm to go up that far. Can't really go back that far because of the backpack, but if we do move it, yeah, you still can't really get a lot because of the way that the shoulders are designed. You have a slightly above 90 degree at the arm, and you have 360 at the wrist, and you can kind of move it in and out. It is part of the transformation gimmick, but it is there if you'd like to use it. Waist skirting here can go up, which allows the foot to kick up that far. You can move back, not really that far for the back. You have almost a complete spread. Legs on a full 360. Looks like they can pull maybe more than a 90. Slip more than a 90. And you have technically some toe articulation, if you want to call it that, with the thruster feet. Actually, these ones don't... Oh, well, I guess you'd have to unplug the sides first. That allows you to get that bend. And you have a full pivot right there. On the back, the back of the tank can move a bit, even though it probably isn't supposed to. These wings can move, and the backpack is on a hinge, so it can move up and down if you need it to. So, overall, I mean, a pretty standard articulation by Transformers standards. I will say that the shoulders are probably the one thing hindering the arm movement, since they do restrict a lot of the way it can move, a lot more than the Studio Series Soundwave can, because I found that the Bumblebee Soundwave kind of has a similar shoulder build, but somehow has more articulation than this one. But aside from those shoulders, everything else seems to be pretty decent. You have some nice arm articulation, at least then you have a slightly above 90 bend for the arm and legs. You have some waist rotation, and you have multiple toe bend options. So you might be able to get this guy in some very decent poses. And before moving on, the weapons here, the Zeong hand and Neo Zeong hands, they do have a bend here, so they can move open, kind of open and close, I guess would be the best way to put it, and they can also rotate here. So, looking at his alt forms now, we're going to start here with the tank mode, and we have a very nice blocky tank mode going on here. You have a lot of his sand tannish color. I'm going to turn my lamp off real quick. That's probably a bit closer to what the coloring does look like. But you have some nice sandy tan going on there, as well as some of that dark purple in the front. I do wish the purple was hidden a bit better, along with his head, since you can kind of see him peeping through right there. But you have some purple on the side, which just isn't necessarily that bad, but I do wish there was some covering or something here, especially since there are some small gaps on the side of the tank here. But you do have wheels underneath, so you can roll around, even though, he's not really that good of a roller. Maybe, yeah, I don't think his wheels might be enough, but he does still make for a very menacing tank. You have a full 360 up top, as well as some up movement with the gun, which is very nice to see a Transformers figure have some nice articulation for the tank mode. This also works well with your other accessories, like your blasters that he comes with. You can plug those into the side, kind of point them up a bit. And you have some side guns right there. The sword, there isn't too much to do with it, because there isn't no bottom storage or anything like that. So you can put it on the side here if you want to give your tank a bayonet, I guess. Very interesting concept. And what's most interesting here is with the hand pieces. This one I've already done. So you can compact them into the box by taking this piece off and plugging it into the peg up here. Like so. It does take a tad bit of force to get in there, which is kind of scary because this is clear plastic. There we go. And you have some tabs here, and you can get these, put them here, and I'm gonna raise this up so it's easier to see. You can slide those into the sides here. Get in there. It's easier when I I can move the gun completely back. That gives me a bit more room to work with. There we go. I guess you want to say too, you can move the gun up and down. The whole gun, you can do that as well. But you can attach those to the side to have some large side guns. Maybe something like missile pods in a way. They do look weird though at how large they are, so I probably won't be displaying him with these. But overall though, I really do like the tank mode on this guy, even though it is not as round as his G1 counterpart. I still think for a tank mode, this is one of the better tank modes I have seen on a figure. But then again, I thought Studio Series Brawl was a good figure, so maybe I just think tanks are cool. But overall, very decent alt mode. And, it has its flaws, but I still think it's very cool. And it's also very versatile, again, with that moving gun. So, at least it does have playability as a great tank mode. Moving on with the jet mode now. And I'm going to admit this is the weaker of the two alt modes that Blitzwing has here compared to the tank mode. But from the top, it's a kind of convincing jet, a little squished, but nothing too bad. But underneath on the sides, you do have the treads of the tank mode hanging out. These side pieces of the arms aren't that bad to me, because I do feel like they could act as like vents or missile pods for the jet mode. And even the underbarrel gun of the tank isn't that bad, since it is kind of flat, so it is well hidden at least. Yes, I do have some landing gear here, so I should probably pull that out real quick. There we go. Landing gear. But these side bits under here, I wish there was a way to hide that a bit better. But you can't win them all, I guess. So, we do have a nice upper jet mode up here, though. Majority of that purple color now, with some yellow here and there. as well as a silver tip for the cockpit and a clear reddish-orange window going on. Got some prominent silver Decepticon logos up top. And again, these side pieces aren't that bad. The tan isn't that bad, again, as I kind of see these as maybe vents that the jet has. You have your thrusters in the back, now actually acting as thrusters. You have the treads hanging out of the side. You have your landing gear piece here, which is all purple. And you have your tank bale underneath, which, if you want, you can still flip out and use, and it can bend down, so if you want to use it as some underneath tank gun, that is strangely an option. Strange, but it is a toy, so it is up to the imagination of one to decide how they would like to play with it. And I would show the gimmick for this character with the Neo Zeong hands, but mine are currently stuck in the blocky portion from the tank part, so yeah, it's a huge disappointment. This has probably been the biggest negative with this character, his accessories so far, because I don't want to pry into these because they are made of clear plastic and I'm afraid they're going to break. But you can still use the other accessories with this mode, though. You can get your blasters, and those simply plug into the sides like so. Unfortunately, you can't get them underneath the wings by the looks of it, which would be cool, but there isn't much space there anyway since they don't go that far, so this is still nice as it is. And similar to the tank, you really don't have anywhere to store the sword, so can't put it there, but it's kind of hanging from the back, which is weird. But no, although, I mean, as a jet, again, it is weaker to me than the tank mode because of a lot of this side kibble hanging off here. Like, if it was just these side parts from the shoulders and the gun at the bottom, it wouldn't be too bad as a jet mode, actually. But with these pieces hanging off here, that does hinder it, but it's not really the worst thing ever. Looking at our size comparisons now, here is Blitzwing next to a Masterpiece Blue Streak and the Earthrise Wheeljack. Stand up. There we go. Here he is next to a Gundam Converge Zaku and a 3.75-inch Fortnite figure. And finally, here he is next to a Graz and a Master Grade Zaku Cannon. So, Transformers Legacy Blitzwing. This one's a bit of a doozy for me to kind of recommend because, I mean, he is cool as a Blitzwing in the robot mode. I think the robot mode does convey a pretty good Blitzwing. Does have the bulk and soldier kind of look to the character. And his tank mode is also really cool, although it's flawed. He still has a decent tank mode with some great play features, especially with the moving turret that he has. His jet mode is weak compared to his other modes, but if you do look at it from the top, it is still a pretty decent jet, and a lot of the parts of it don't really hinder it. It's mainly the side tread pieces that I feel kind of limit the jet mode. Accessories, I will say, are 50-50 mainly because of these, the Neo Zeong hands. Maybe this is their revenge on me for me calling them that. I have no idea if I will be able to get these out, and again, I don't want to pry these because they are clear plastic and I'm afraid of breaking them, so I will have to work on these and see if I can get them out. Hopefully. But he is a $55 figure, so mainly with the price and because of the issues I'm having with these hand pieces alone, it's definitely going to warrant some deduction for me recommending him. I will say as a Blitzwing figure, he is very cool, and he very much does look like Blitzwing, so if you do want a cool Blitzwing character, I would say that this is a nice pickup, even for the flaws of the alt mode. Again, it's mainly the jet that I feel is flawed. The tank does at least have some play feature to it, despite not being completely G1 accurate, but I still think, at least as a tank, if you want a tank transform, this does work. Again, jet is limited, and the accessories, you do get 2 blasters and a sword. I guess as a warning, I would say don't probably put these in here unless they do come out for yours. This might just be a thing with mine. But again, it is the risk that these are clear plastic, and I do not want to break these since you do not get replacements. And if I break the tabs that they're connected to, he will not be able to hold them. So there is a risk there. So overall, if you literally could care less about these extra pieces and you want a good looking Blitzwing figure, I will say pick this up. It is very nice. The painting on him is cool. Very nicely done. The arm articulation up here at the shoulders is again one of his limiting factors, but everything else on him that he has is fairly decent. And I do think he's cool, but I am just a bit disappointed in just that the extra parts that are really the main selling point for why this figure probably has this price tag are kind of failing on me at the moment. And from a meme standpoint, I did like these Neo Zeong hands that he had going on. So pick this up if you really like Blitzwing, or if you want a nice tank figure. But other than that, there probably are better Blitzwings out there. I've heard that his Titan's Return figure is fairly decent. I do not personally own that figure, so I don't want to put that as a recommendation, since, again, I don't own it, so I don't have experience with it. I think he's cool. Just, if you get him, just kind of be careful and kind of know what to expect, because, again, slight disappointment in this figure. But with that, that's going to be the end of this review. I'll see you in the next one, whatever my next review is going to be. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Later.